I saw the movie The Notebook, and he says in the beginning when he's an old man that like his biggest mission in life was to live with a heart like fully open and to fully love. And I could feel for so many years that my heart was so closed, and I just like wished for it to be open, but it was such a long journey for me to just like be able to cry because that wasn't like okay for a man. And I would love for you to share uh, if you have a similar story of yourself or a client you've been working with having like that protection around the shield around your chest, around, especially around the heart. For many men, you know, the big chest muscle, we are like physically and emotionally, it feels like in a physical emotional lock that just automatically taps in or just locks the emotion as soon as just a little bit of emotion starts to arise. It's just like I don't even have the time to think about it. This was me before. So can you share your thoughts around this?
Great question. Well, I mean, every single man that I have worked with has been working with this to different degrees. But I'll share my own story and experience. And I imagine, you know, as everyone's listening to like feel where this is true for you and how, as a man tapping into your emotions, was this something that was celebrated or is this something that was shunned down in your environment or the culture you grew up in? So my dad left when I was 6 months old, and I had two other fathers. One was a known criminal in our area, gun and car crime, and just an emotionally volatile human being that I was around as a young boy. And I very quickly learned that it was not safe to have emotion and to have experience. And therefore, boom, my protective mechanism comes on there because as I would share things, I mean, sometimes I would just have severely hurt myself. I remember actually I broke my jaw one time. I don't think I've ever shared this story. I broke my jaw, smashed my teeth on my bike. I come into the house and I've got blood coming down my mouth and I've got a towel in my hand. And my stepfather at the time, he said, stop being a little puff, which means stop being a little fag or stop being gay, and hit me on the back of the head and said, go to your room. My jaw's broken at this point. I mean, he didn't know that, but there was blood coming out of my mouth. So even in extreme pain, crying was not welcomed. And that little boy was hurting, you know, that little boy was in pain. He wanted a father, he wanted love, he wanted connection. Wanted to be closer to my mother, but this man was so jealous that he wouldn't let my mum near me. I was in hospital for 6 weeks when my jaw was getting reconstructed. And he was so jealous as a man that he wouldn't let my mum come see me because my original father who left might be at the hospital. That's how jealous he was. And inside, I'm just a little boy. It's like, where's my mum? You know, where's my mum? And that shut me down. It shut me down until I was in my early 20s where I started doing this work, where I started finding other men and mentors who were able to guide me through processes that could have me reconnect to my heart, to have me reconnect to what matters. Not in a way where I was becoming a mess, but in a way that I was actually working through my mess and I was actually coming back to more of who I truly am. More of my strength, more of my courage, more of my heart, more of my power, and more love. And it's been the greatest journey of my life. And I wish it for all men, you know. And to be clear, we're not talking about just like crying in front of our wives, or there is skillfulness in regards to how we work where, you know, there's places where we can go where we can release these emotions, where we can be truly in our experience, where we can heal, where we can grow, where we can learn. And then how we share that with others, we learn. You know, some friends are going to be able to hold you in that. They're going to be like, dude, brother, like, fuck yeah, let it out. Let it out, bro. And other men are going to judge you for it. And that's on them, right? Like when someone's judging you for your experience, every single time, it's because they're judging themselves, you know? I've never had someone judge me and just be like, wow, he's so on point. Every time if I tune in, I'm like, that's you. Like, that's your fear of being in touch with your emotions, and you're projecting it onto me. And if you name that to someone, like, boom, like they will run a mile or they'll shout at you, you know? Because you'll have touched something. You're touching a nerve. So don't go around doing that to people. But the people that are judging you, it's because they're judging themselves. And I know that, and you know that, and anyone listening knows that, because if you really tune into the people you're judging in your life, whether it be now or years back, if you get really honest, was that about them or was that about you?
Is this internalized in your body that you like can feel that like directly when someone makes a comment maybe on your post, or they are criticizing you in some way, or how do you react to that? Is it intellectual, or are you like directly feeling that, okay, this is has nothing to do with me, this is like all you here?
At this point, I mean, it's not that
Yeah,
things
at this point.
don't, it's not that things don't occasionally get me, but I know when someone like kind of like triggers me, it's mine to look at. But I've done so many reps by this point. It's just like if you're a musician, or if you're an athlete, or if you're a MMA fighter or a boxer, you just do reps and reps and reps and reps and reps. And eventually it just gets in your nervous system. You know, if you're a fighter and someone, you just do reps and reps on jab, hook, you know, and then eventually someone throws a punch at you, you just instinctively duck, right? And that's just reps. And it's the same for the inner work. It's just reps. So at this point, most things, when I see someone projecting onto me, or see someone sharing something, my kind of instinct at this point, which has been trained, is just to like recognize that it's there, and predominantly that's my experience.
I got you.